Good morning, everyone. This is Trey from Midwest Day Trips. Today we're checking out the Mastodon State Historic Site in Imperial, Missouri, not too far south of St. Louis. Right now we're checking out the Wildflower Trail, which is the smaller trail here. And on this trail is actually where they found evidence that mastodons and humans coexisted 12,000 years ago. And before this evidence was found, it was assumed that humans and mastodons came from two entirely different periods in time in history. So right from the jump, we get a nice little staircase to climb down. Not too shabby. When you're in Missouri, you're never too far away from a good hiking trail. And so far, I have seen no shortage of benches to sit on. I've seen like 2 or 3 already, and we've just started. And just a reminder that we are not that far from civilization. There's traffic right down there. At the time of this shooting, fall colors have just started to emerge here in Missouri. I actually feel like Missouri is very much underrated as far as natural beauty goes. At least whenever the leaves and the trees are fully in bloom, especially in fall. Once the leaves fall off the trees, it's a different story, but the rest of the year, Missouri is quite picturesque. So, one thing I'm noticing, even though this trail is very short, it's not exactly easy. Like I said, lots of stairs, and the trail itself is a little bumpy. It's not flat like some trails are. So just a heads up. So all of this down here used to be a limestone basin. They used to mine limestone here, which would probably explain all of the irregular rock just protruding everywhere. And speaking of limestone and benches, there's all kinds of little spots like here just to sit down and take a breather if you so wish. In my opinion, this trail is actually very nice if you're looking for something that's slightly challenging but not very long, because I believe this trail is only half a mile long. And here's actually some pictures of the quarry in question. Lime plant for limestone. And this is where I'm standing at the moment. And if you know what to look for, you can actually see the drill lines in the rock to this day. History is alive everywhere, all around you. You just have to be aware of it, and you have to learn to appreciate it. I happen to think it's really cool. And here we come back to this big set of progressive stairs. Here we come to a nice little cliff drop-off. And evidence of civilization. As I already said, we are right next to civilization, so you don't always have to go far for a nice little hike. All right, that does it for the Wildflower Trail. Now we're going to check out the Spring Branch Trail, which is actually twice as long. as the Wildflower Trail. So the Wildflower Trail, which is the first one we did, was actually listed as a moderate trail, whereas this trail, the Spring Branch Trail, is listed as easy. One look at the trail itself will tell you why. There was no point on the Wildflower Trail where the trail was this flat. There was always something to step over or trip over or climb up or stairs to climb, etc. We also actually had to drive here because it wasn't walking distance from the visitor center to this park. Also of note, this part of the park, there was a children's play area and campground, picnic area, all sorts of stuff. Ironically, even though this trail is twice as long, it actually feels twice as easy because of the lack of rocks and stuff to climb up, the lack of stairs, the lack of hills, etc. I mentioned earlier that, fall is happening. You can literally see the leaves falling. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but this all looks like bamboo. I mean, that's what that is, isn't it? I didn't know bamboo just grew like that in the wild, just randomly. So, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but that's what it looks like. Just a little trail you can walk through. Yeah, the Spring Branch Trail seems to follow this little creek for most of the trail. I think I was a duck in a previous life because I love water. I don't necessarily love being in the water as much as I love being around the water. And here we have where the Limestone Hill Trail connects to this trail. We're not going to be doing the Limestone Hill Trail because it's the most difficult of the trails here at this park. It's actually, if I'm not mistaken, 2 miles, and it has more obstacles and hills and rocks to climb over than any of the others. We have a 2-year-old, and I think it's a little advanced for him. Heck, it might be a little too advanced for us too. And here we have what appears to be remnants of an old stone building. I looked in the brochure, I looked on the website, albeit not for very long, but I could not find any sort of information on what this building used to be. But it's pretty small, so couldn't have been, a dwelling for too many people at one time. Pretty cool though. The fact that it's on the creek makes me believe that it was a dwelling at one point. Maybe it was for one person, maybe it was for a couple, and who knows, maybe it was for an entire family and they just didn't spend very much time outside of the house. I'm not an expert, I couldn't tell you. So on second viewing, it actually says right here, the trail follows a small stream past remains of the Bolifer Spring House built in 1937. So there you go. All right, that concludes the Spring Branch Trail. Now it's time to check out the museum and visitor center. So this skeleton right here is actually made of fiberglass, but it is molded from actual bones. None of which actually came from this site because this site hosted a lot of broken bone fragments and such. And in here we have a small little room where they do shows every half an hour. I believe we're going to sit this one out, but they do have it. And that's going to about do it for today. So don't forget to like and subscribe and check back frequently for brand new content. Take care, everyone.